Hey, what's up guys? This is Cody with StillPhotographyAL.com. So I wanted to give you guys some quick tips on shooting large groups. So this photo right here is of the Miramar SWAT team. Miramar is a city, I think it's about 10 minutes outside of Miami. And so where we did this shot was actually at the Homestead Air Force Base. It's about an hour drive south from Miami. So this is pretty much as far south as you can get. And it was very, very hot outside that day. So I'm just going to kind of go over a few quick tips for you when it comes to shooting larger groups. So one of the first big challenges we had with this shot was once we got there with the Black Hawk and every vehicle was lined up on the side for us ready to go, the Black Hawk was in the hangar. So what we needed to do was, I knew that of course I wanted to pull the Black Hawk out, and I didn't know for sure if I wanted to shoot the image straight on with the back of the hangar right here, if you see that. But what I ultimately decided to do, just to give the image a little bit more depth, is I kind of put the Black Hawk at an angle. So if you see this right here, you'll see that the building is kind of diagonal behind the Black Hawk. And so what we did was we pulled, we only had 3 vehicles. It would have been really, really nice to have 4 because it would have gave it a little bit of balance. But a lot of times when you're shooting big groups like this, you can't have every single thing you want. And that's perfectly fine. So it's all about making the best possible image you can out of what you're given. So what we did was we put, I'm not sure what, this is some sort of armored vehicle right here. And then I guess some sort of accident command, and I'm not sure what this vehicle right here is called. But we just put this vehicle right here at the nose of the Black Hawk and that vehicle right there. So now when it comes to lining up your guys, it's important to be really, really fast. But like I said, it was so hot out there that day. I swear, it must have been 100 degrees. And like 100 degrees down there with the humidity feels like 1,000 compared to where we live here. So we knew we wanted to have the guy standing up in the back, and we always wanted to make sure that their hands are crossed right there. That just looks a little bit better and a little bit more uniform. I'll usually say, you know, hey, right over left or left over right, just something like that. And if you notice right here, these guys in the back are just at a slight angle. Okay, now your guys at the front, what you want to have them do is if you kneel them down, if you want to do a shot like that, a lot of people have a bad tendency, and it's just natural that they bring that foot really close into them. So what you want to have them do is make sure they're sitting up nice and straight, and tell them just to bring that foot out. Okay, and at this point, I wanted to make sure that everything looked completely uniform. So what I actually told the guys to do was just the tip of their gun. It's a bad idea to tell them to point at their foot, but what you want to do is I just told them to point the gun down 2 inches from their foot, and they followed directions pretty good. So I knew that I had to get some height for this. So there's no way to actually show you what I was on, but I was on one of those, I'm not sure what it's called, one of those lift things, and we maybe shot this 25 feet in the air. So just to give you a little understanding about how we shot this, so we shot the image at 1/25th of a second. You definitely want to keep your shutter speed at least that high, because I'll tell you what, this many guys out there, nobody's going to stay perfectly still. We shot it at f10, so I wanted everything to be nice and super sharp. And if you look and zoom in, it is really, really sharp. ISO 100 because we had plenty of daylight outside. There was no need to bump our ISO any higher than that. We shot this with a 24-105 f4 lens, and I think it did absolutely fine for this. So I'll just hit reset here, and I'll show you, this is how the image was actually shot. So you see, the big challenge with this was it was just so wide. And so that's why we did a crop of this image, because we have all this parking lot right here. So what we just did is, after we edited this image, we just went and cropped it, and I think that looks a lot better. So I'm not sure if it says, we shot this at 24mm, so it was pretty wide, but this image had no problem cropping. I think it looks absolutely great, and I think that this image turned out good. Now, another thing that you just want to always be careful about with shooting groups is you don't want to have too much distraction in the background. That's why I was excited when I saw this hangar, because I knew we could open the doors right there. And not only that, but I like wordings. This is U.S. Customs and Border Protection. I like the fact that it had the words on the building. I think this image turned out awesome. So you really want to make the, you really want to be, you know, really cool and collective when you're shooting these type shots. You really want to let everybody know, you know exactly what you're doing, because I'll tell you what, these guys, it was really hot outside and they will snap on you in 2 seconds. So you really just kind of want to maintain control, and you want to be very, very confident in what you're doing. And you want to get it, you know, as quickly as you can, but know that you got a really, really good shot. So like I said, I think this turned out great. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, make sure to email us. You can email us at stillphotographyal@gmail.com, or you guys can just go to our contact page. Thanks so much, guys. stillphotographyal.com.